2, 1. Hello. Today's question is, what is Darpa doing in your phone? It's been there for years. Yeah, I'll give you the acronym in the notes below or whatever. It's a defense project. And most of you don't even have a clue of what information, etc., that you're giving up, which I'm not into that. You're talking about to the king of stealth right now. I love this phone, and please forgive me, it's nice out here in the breeze. Tropical storm Imelda, which dropped 2 feet on the coast, only brought me about 1/4 inch of rain. You'll notice I'm not wearing a shirt because it's only about 90 degrees at 3 p.m., but it's 100% humidity. If I wear a shirt, I'm going to just soak right through it. So, forgive me. And before I begin, I got to say, you know what I'm saying? I got to have my purple drink and have a Texas-sized holiday, which, by the way, Happy Rosh Hashanah. The year 5780 begins in only about 9 days. Okay. Now look, a lot of you think you know what Darpa is. You don't. Darpa's a complicated group of cluster fucking defense projects. And you can't trust anybody, but what I should get to right away here, and I'm going to have my smoke because I've been in town today. I've been up since 4:30 a.m. I've been deprived of a lot of things, which even in public I can't smoke unless I go to this smoking area, when my genotype is not susceptible to lung cancer and almost all lung disease in this country, which I've been kicking ass. Actually, I want to back up here right now. Today is the global warming strike day for students, like, you know, which since 5 a.m. Central Time on Bloomberg News, I've been the top commentator and commentator around the world, pointing out that these little kids that are living off the bank of mom and dad are just taking a day off and pissing and bitching and moaning and saying the same crap that dumbass kids said back in the 60s, and they're not really doing anything. As a matter of fact, they're contributing more because they're consuming my product, oil and gas, on all of their video cameras, all their transmissions, etc. They're so stupid they don't realize that they're actually going against what they're preaching. That's how stupid they are. Most of you people are too stupid to realize that you're exchanging ease for information. You got it? And this is about the Darpa in your phone. Now, I should state, and I will restate again, I've been doing a little researching, but I haven't found anybody that can come up with a legitimate explanation as to how Apple obtained Siri and all this Alexa, Google, and all this. There's no record of them paying Darpa any money that I can find for sure. There's no agreements that all I've heard is conjecture and bullshit and conspiracy theorists. But what I can tell you is which is always best, which is my empirical knowledge. Very few things beat empirical knowledge. I'm sorry. But you got to just live with that. Look, let me go back about 3 years ago, as I was progressing in this line of these beautiful Motorola phones, which helps me keep the whole world at bay. All you pirates and hackers and intel gathering, info gathering, selling losers who are just really pathetic. I noticed, let me use a particular example. You know, for a while there, I found it easy to use the Google Voice. You know, they didn't even, actually, even those early Motorola phones did not give me the option to opt out of Google recording my voice. And I know what happens when somebody records my voice. Look, I had a cousin that retooled the Moog plant in Buffalo, New York, where he told me, and the government admitted that the last Osama bin Laden audio tapes were actually synthesized in that plant in Buffalo. He moved on. He was teaching college and had retooled the plant. And let me get on with what I need to say here, which is, with fake face and all that other stuff, and with synthesis, I don't believe anything. But what I want to point out to you over and over again, that billions of you are totally dependent upon a Darpa research project into what they call A1 level artificial intelligence. We've been dealing with it for years. At first, I kind of found it helpful, but then years ago, Google started getting stupid on me. You know, several years ago, I had just written a reply to some idiot, some Jew-hating idiot, and it mentioned Eretz Israel. And I decided, you know, I knew I spelled it right, E-R-A-T-Z. It means land of Israel. And I said, well, let's test Google. So I went to Google and I said, definition of Eretz. And I pronounced it 3 different ways. And every time it came back with the Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary definition of ersatz, which I know what that means. It means fake, you know, whatever. And in the past, in previous years, Google would quickly go foreign language detected and then give me the correct definition. But that's when I noticed how much Google hated Jews. Right then, at that moment, after several tries, they were refusing to recognize a very ancient and still used Hebrew word, which has the same meaning in, I think, about 5 other languages. I'm a pretty good linguist. Eretz means land. Eretz Israel means land of Israel. And right then I knew something was wrong. And I want to kind of jump ahead here because I only got about 7 minutes left. You know, I really can't make a video under 15 minutes. I have too much in my head. I have too much to say. I'm not going to script these shows. I'm going to pump them out. I'm going to give you as much information as possible. And actually, on this particular channel, I noticed that because of my, actually today, as I already pointed out, this morning at 5 a.m. Central Time on Bloomberg News, this being the day of the global warming strike by students, I was top commenter with maximum replies, and still am 8 hours later. I've been ripping them a new hole since early this morning. Got up at 4:30 a.m. I'm about ready for a little nosh and a nap in a little while. And anyway, I understand, because there's a population that I deal with that are blind, or legally, most of them are just legally blind, and some of them blinded themselves just to get the check, or they were blinded by their drunken drug addict mother, hello Mildred, to get pills and to get the first SSI checks in this country from Lyndon Baines Johnson. I have now less than 5.5 minutes. So, after doing the Eretz check and stuff like that, and then I began finding these professional reviews that showed that the phone I'm using, which I love this baby, I've eliminated literally 1/3 of the apps. I got one that I hold back to keep me on the network because I know exactly Google's soft point. I'm not going to tell you. And yeah, I've had really now for 20, 30 days now, for the first time ever, I've had unlimited, what I'm paying for, unlimited data on the 4G LTE network, which is ultimate. 5G will never happen because of the overheating, radiation, and disruption problems. It's not going to happen. I don't recommend you go to 5G at all. You've got to be really stupid if you're a 5G first adopter. I've seen those guys carrying around the ice chest and the Ziplocs because after 15 minutes of use, which most of the time it doesn't work because 5 feet or just turning to where your body blocks the millimeter waves, you're screwed. So at almost 11 minutes here now, I'm going to ask you again, is it really necessary for you? Because I have no trouble typing in search terms. And when I was setting up this phone before I ever activated it, I eliminated 10 of the 32 apps. Don't really need them. I've seen this whole plan. I can always add them. I can temporarily add them later. And I gave no permissions to record my voice or anything else, or turn on my camera or microphone. So who's smarter, you or me? You think that just because you spent $1,000 or $2,000 on a phone that cost $20 to $30 to manufacture, you think that that's the same as wearing Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses that cost 35 cents a unit to manufacture in Italy? That's what I'm saying. See, I used to be in the business. I used to be in the eyeglass business. You can't con me on anything. I'm creeping up on 12 minutes here. So think about it. What they're doing is recording. This is where I really needed to get into the goals of Darpa and Siri and all that other stuff. I have less than 3 minutes left to kind of sum up on this video. And you know what? I think I'm going to take my time. Yes, Google Android and Apple, they are studying you for artificial intelligence. They've been using level 1A artificial intelligence for how long? 6 years? To give you suggestions or ask you questions or talk to you because you're a lonely urbanite. You know what I'm saying? But the sad fact is that Google Android years ago labeled people like me, super intelligent people, capable of critical analysis and have a religious bent. They labeled us as Nazis when I lost a whole branch of my family and thousands of cousins in the death camps. And they were on my ass. They even destroyed my last phone, which actually I had it fixed. I had it working, except it had malware still stuck in it. But they're studying you, the ignorati. They're not studying the Illuminati. They're not studying people like, they're studying people like me so they can counteract people like me who are capable of critical analysis and rational thought, money management, employing people, etc. They want people like you. I will end it here. I only have about a minute left. They want to study you idiots who get some mid-level job and you just got your first, $3,000 monthly paycheck, and you're going down the street and you run into some rum-soaked, crack-smoking weirdo who's wearing his Obama hat or his I'm with her Hillary thing, and you go like, I need to do the right thing as a social justice warrior. I can't figure out how to write it off of my taxes. You can't. But you know what? I'm going to take $500 out of my pocket and give it to this guy because it's good under the universal basic income tenets of that Yang weirdo. I'll get back to you.